Hello, welcome back to Sheffield.
We're back. Sorry about that. There was a grot in the machine. I think that's how they explain it away, isn't it?
No,
Technical
there was
issues.
a dude that stood on the wire and put the plug out.
Okay, right. We're back, and we have started the table one.
Yeah.
Which we can cut to now. Is the game versus Ben versus Mike. Fyreslayers versus KO.
Yeah, this is a Dwardenhof.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, two real dwarf armies. Yeah.
The real dwarf army is sitting in my case at home, just possessed.
Oh, okay.
That's true. These lads can have a training fight. Yeah, so we see quite a ship-heavy Kharadron force.
Yes, yeah. He's got one of the ironclads, 2 frigates, and 3 gun haulers, which are deployed in a tight little squadron down there in the bottom corner. That's because they can just pick up and redeploy anywhere they want. I was just standing over there watching the start of the game, and Mike was stood there for about 10 minutes scratching his head, trying to figure out what to do, because there's no way he can screen off that amount of boats. You know, he's kind of just got free range really for what he can do. He can just pop down anywhere he wants and shoot whatever he wants. That's really. Right.
So he's got to have to take the bullets to the face and then try and do something about it with his axes. So he has also got a squad of Hearthguard berserkers under the ground with a rune smite.
Yes.
So they can tunnel up and do their thing at some stage.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's already thrown down a volcanic wall.
Yes, the runic iron wall is it down there? Yeah. Which, yeah, I don't know. That was what he was sort of debating a long time, was where to put it, because I don't know whether it's going to have that much of effect, because whatever side he puts the models on, the KO boats just go on the other side.
All right. So I assume. So this one, Kharadron. So the Fyreslayers finished deploying first.
Yes.
And have taken
and
first turn.
And have chosen to take first turn. Yeah.
To try and zone out where the places these big boats can go.
Yeah, I don't know whether his plan is to maybe drop a unit down there to drop the other unit of Hearthguard there, and then he's sitting pretty on both of those objectives. Yeah. They're not easy to move, Hearthguard, so I don't know whether he does that at the end of the phase and just gets an early lead and just hopes that he can weather the storm, maybe even weather a double.
Yeah, well, it looks like he's created a bit of a bunker there in the top right as we're looking at it, the one that I've circled, where he's got a piece of overgrown terrain which is blocking some, obviously blocks line of sight. He's put a character in there, Rune Father, and also obviously it'll protect his flank from ships, but it's the wrong flank really.
Yes, yeah. Well, I think it's good having a Rune Father in a piece of overgrown there, so he can't get shot, because then he'll be within 10 inches of those Hearthguard, so that you can't snipe the hero off to get rid of their DPR save afterwards.
Yeah, so the hero will be there for the DPR. I think the Rune Father also got a bubble of Battle Shock immunity.
Yes, yeah, he does, yeah. So they're not going to be running either.
He's pretty safe in there. And there's probably a Battlesmith in there as well, who will be giving him the reroll saves.
+1, +1 to save, to be able to get that every turn. He was, unfortunately, I think he was a little bit more than 12 inches out, so he had to put the Prayer of Ash, which is the +1 to save, on the onto the Magmadroth here.
Oh, okay.
So they are only on a +1 save from banner, so they're on 4-ups. But obviously, as we say, they're going to be, the
re-rolling.
Yes.
Happy go. And here we see the Rune Smiter has popped up in like you said, bottom left-hand corner.
It's good, strong first-turn play, isn't it? You've got 2 units of 20 Hearthguard on 2 of the objectives. Obviously, it's Total Conquest as well, so you don't really want to be taking objectives unless you know you can defend them, because then you're giving away the extra point then if they can take it back from you.
So you would have thought that he can hold them for at least a turn, which is beneficial to him.
Yeah,
so it's not bad.
I would imagine that they should be able to weather a double even.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like the KO book is one. The KO is one book that I haven't looked at in depth yet, so I'm not really aware of how much output are in those boats. Obviously, there's a lot of flexibility, but
there's flexibility. There is a fair amount of shooting, but is there enough for it to actually take out a unit?
Yep.
I guess now we're going to find out.
Yeah,
we'll
see.
I've read the book, I've had a look at it, but I've not sort of really played the thing. So
not seen it on the table. Me neither as well. Yeah, exactly.
I think you can talk about the numbers so much, but
yeah.
And bearing in mind, this will also zone out the flanks for this weaker objective, which is this one at the back.
Yes.
So that one has just got 10 Volkites and actually a dispossessed model. He's got a Rune Lord in the center there, who's the little hero there.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. It sounds like they've almost finished deploying on. Well, they finished deploying on table 3, and Seb has given the turn to Trog. Before we cut to that, we're going to go to our man in the field in his shorts and socks. It is Owen Jackson.
Sunny Chef.
Thank you, Benjamin. Cheers, Nath. So after a few little technical gribbles there, we're now back on. And I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update on where we stand for Game 3. I'm going to cover the top 10 tables. Obviously, we've got some really fun armies and some really nicely painted stuff on the stream. But I know there's a lot of people out there who want to know what's going on the top tables. So I'll just give you a little rundown of the 20 armies that currently occupy the top 10 tables. So with one army each, we've got Slaves to Darkness, a Ravager Slaves to Darkness, a Hagnar, Daughters of Cain, Tony Moore with his Grand Host of Nagash. We've got our Hermdar Fyreslayers. We've got Nurgle Blessed Sons, a Tzeentch Duplicitous Host, a single Bigwar, a single Iron Jaws, 2 Blisterskin Flesh Eater Courts, 2 cities. One's a Living City, one's a Tempest Eye. 2 Deepkin, both Domheim. 2 Petrifex Bone Reapers, and then we've got 4 Ogre Moor tribes in the top 20. So those hungry boys are gobbling their way up to the top tables. So those matchups in full, we've got Ben Bailey against Greg Shelton on table 10. That's Brute Fist Iron Jaws against Blisterskin Feck. We've got Paul Haley, Mr. Lofthammer with his Daughters against Stephen Follows with his Ogres. Big match on table 8. 2 of the top 10 UK players. We've got Andy Hughes with his Hermdar Fyreslayers playing Tony Moore with his Grand Host of Nagash. And then, who was on the stream earlier, we've got Joe Purcell playing against another honest wargamer, Mr. James Powell. He just gave me a peck on the cheek because he keeps giving me loads of grief. And he's playing his Slaves to Darkness Ravagers. We've then got Parr rocking on table 6 with his Ogres that you saw earlier, facing off against Chris Green's Flesh Eaters. Nick Thompson, Mr. WS10, he's rolled into JP Stevens, so he's got another Catacross to take off if he can after Speckles went down so gloriously on turn 1. Nikos still rocking it up there on table 4 with his Winterbite, facing off against another guy we had on the stream in the last round, James Williams, his Nurgle. And then a big match on table 3, Luke Morton, Mr. 500, with his Deepkin obviously against Mark Wildman. Liam Jordan's Petrifex against Gabe Huddleston's Bigwar. And then finally, the top 2 players in the room, Lee Bromley, knocking down jelly shots, dancing around, having a wonderful time. He's facing off against the current grand final champ, Mr. James Tinsdale, obviously with his Deepkin. So that gives you a little flavour of what's going on behind. Lots of happy people having a great time. I'll pass you back to a couple of other happy chappies in Benjamin and Nathan, who are going to keep you up to date with the top tables. Cheers, guys.
Hello. Welcome back to Tables
3
Network.
Table home of Sheffield.
Yes. Steel.
Okay, so we've come into our table 3 here. This is Seb with his Idoneth Deepkin versus Trog with his Trogs.
Yeah.
Stuart. And Seb won. Seb finished deploying first and gave the turn to Trog. So looks like we're still in the hero phase.
Yeah. So he's cast. Look, I can see a couple of Geminids floating about there.
There they are.
And they won't be doing anything.
Yes, the Fungoid Cave Shaman got an extra CP for him, so he's on 2 CPs now in the first turn, but he failed to cast Scuttletide.
Scuttletide and Hand of Gork has failed to cast, so that's the teleporting spell.
So yes, so that's the end of the movement phase there. We'll go.
So it looks like some of the
end
eels
of the
must
hero.
be off the table. I wonder how many eels are off the table.
Yeah, so
9 are off the table, but we've got 9 on the table, and obviously loads of Namati Thralls and Reavers.
Yes, yeah.
But none of them holding an objective at the moment, which he's done maybe so that he's not giving up an objective, although in the first turn you don't claim the objective until the end of that first your turn, so I don't think it would have mattered.
Okay, so we're going to cut back to table 1 now while Trog does his movement. The Fyreslayer's turn is finished. He scored 3 points. You can see he brought down the Hearthguard Berserker there when we left them. The Hearthguard Berserker's in the bottom left corner. And there's a Zilfin move to move some of the boats in the hero phase. It looks like a lot of the others are following. They're all going.
They're all doing the flying high thing where they can teleport basically anywhere on the board.
Yeah, for free teleport every turn as long as they have above a certain threshold of wounds.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, it's interesting to see how much damage these guys are going to do now. How much they're going to take off this this unit of Hearthguard in the bottom corner. Yeah.
Yeah. So the one unit, the little gun hauler, that's actually closer to the unit, because when you fly high, you still have to end up 9 away.
Yes.
But there's one gun hauler that's managed to end up on the inside the zone. So that one would have used the Barak Zulfin hero phase move.
Oh,
and then he can move again in the movement phase.
Okay.
Bearing in mind that he can also move an extra 6 one turn. I don't know if he's used that.
Yes.
If he's needed to. It does mean that you can move like 30 inches in a turn.
Wow.
So,
okay. So it's like a 6-inch, just a free 6-inch move.
Yeah, yeah. And it doesn't affect shooting or anything like that. So,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it does mean that if he can wipe out everything in that zone,
yes,
then he can claim that objective back. It does mean that his own back objective is left wide open, but
Fyreslayers are notoriously slow.
Yes, so even if they do activate their rune of extra speed.
Yes. Oh, he used that actually. I was over at the table when he used that in the first turn.
He's already used it.
Yes. Yeah.
I would have maybe held on to that one.
It did seem like a strange choice, because these have dropped down anyway. They've not moved anywhere. Not moved very far. Yeah.
I
suppose the Magma Droth has come a really far way down here, which is good because then they can't just ping off that small rune smiter and take away the damage. They have to kill the rune smiter and the Magma Droth if they want to start doing any damage. And avoid the 4-up after damage. Yeah, exactly. If they can do that with those now, it's Tim. Okay, we're going to cut to table 2. We're going to have a little look at that now. This is the deployment. We've got this Miles with Skaven on the top, on the top, and then Tim with Stormcast on the bottom, who's chosen to go first.
So he's casting a comet. That's going to drop down somewhere. I assume he's got also some units off the board hiding in the celestial heavens.
Yes, you would imagine so. It looks light on the board there with what he's got. Right.
First of all, here, the table boss. Have we got any Stormcast hiding in the sky, waiting to ambush on? And then, but he's cast the comet, and he's going to place that. Okay, so the ambushing force is 2 ballistas, a Lord Ordinator, and some evocators.
Yes. Okay.
But we're going to see where this comet lands.
Yeah, we want to watch that come down.
Skaven force. So it's quite a good range on it. It's 36,
isn't it? Yeah, I think so.
30 inch. It's 30 inch.
No, I think it's 36 because you can sit out of unbind range then and still cast it. Table boss could come over here a minute.
So he's reaching in range, so he's making sure he's got a hell put in range. And affecting, this Skaven force has got the hell pits, which we can see. Vermin Lord. It's also got Brood Horror, at the top there?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, the Forge World, the Forge World Brood Horror he's got, because that has a command ability that is still stackable, isn't it? Because it's Forge World. They don't update their rules.
They don't update rules, and also a big unit of Storm Vermin.
Yes, yeah.
Which something you don't see very often. I think it's 400 odd points of Storm Vermin in that unit.
Yeah, I think 440 or something like that. One of the most overcosted units in the game currently, probably. I mean, they do hit hard and they're good. They fight in 3 ranks. They've got rend. You can stack attacks with them with the Brood Horror, so they will hit really hard. Yeah. But just a little bit overcosted. But it's an interesting list from Miles here. It's it's not the standard Skaven builds that you would see. You know, there's no Storm Fiends in sight, no Jezzails, no Plague Monks, a couple of Hell Pits.
But still decent threats, aren't they? The Hell Pits are scary, like you say, looking at the profile, and then Storm Fiends are actually. Storm Vermin are pretty scary.
Yeah, exactly. If Tim decides to drop things like to drop the evocators and puts them into this unit of clan rats here, then he's going to be right where Miles is going to want him, because it's going to mean that the random effect of the movement on the Hell Pits is doesn't matter, because they're going to be right up in his face, so he only needs to go.
So it looks like the screen's frozen a bit here. We're not getting much movement. But
okay, let's see if we can cut to a different table. Then we're going to go to table 3 and see what.
There we go. We got some movement on table 3. Good. Can always rely on Trogs to get stuff moving.
Yeah, that's exactly right into the movement phase of the Trogs.
He's finished. It looks like we're up into the Idoneth movement. So Trogs have moved up, consolidated on their objectives. So we've got lots of units of 3 Fell Waters. There should be a unit of a couple of units of Rock Guts as well. In fact, there's 4 units of Rock Guts, it looks like, and a Dankhold Trog Boss. Supported by a couple of little wizards, one of them being a web spinner. There's also a fungoid kicking about. You can see his red hat is over there.
We've just got a question from Red Strike in the chat asking what Mike Stewart's list is. We don't have the list in. We're still technical guys still inputting all the lists into the system, because lists were on the day. Were handed in on the day. We didn't have them in advance, so we couldn't input them all. But I'll run you quickly through his list. It's Fyreslayers, Hermdar. He's got an Auric Runefather, an Auric Runemaster, a Battlesmith with the Norcidian icon, an Auric Runesmiter, and then an Auric Runesmiter on Magmadroth, and a Rune Lord on his own. And then he's got 2 units of 20 Hearthguard Berserkers and a unit of 10 Volkite Berserkers. And the Lord of the Lodge. He's got an extra command point and a runic firewall. So we can see that table on screen.
That's the table, that's their table now.
Yeah.
Obviously the KR are going to start offloading all their bullets into them. The Rune Lord is in that list. I was speaking to Mike earlier, mainly for the ability to unbind, obviously a +2, but also to dispel in your own hero phase.
Of course, yeah. So it stops them getting trapped behind endless spells.
He's obviously been touched badly by endless spells.
Zeech got him.
This Rune Lord. He also gets +2 to dispel. So
did he get to dispel as well?
Yeah,
oh wow,
so
that's really good.
A nice little addition, really. So character's taken loads of bullets. Got 2 wounds left, but still alive.
Yeah, still going. There's loads of shooting left to go. This is the first boat. So if he could take these 2 characters off here, he sets himself up to be in a really good position if he can get the double, because then he could put all of that firepower into the Hearthguard, who won't have their DPR save, and they won't have a hero nearby. So I would be surprised if they do enough to do any significant damage to the unit after taking off these 2 heroes first. But as we've said, we're not really sure of just how good the output is from new KO, especially this sort of boat list.
Yeah. Would you have taken the first turn if you were the Fyreslayers, or would you have given them first turn with the chance for a double so you could get some of your tunneling dudes give them the opportunity to get into some of those boats and try and take them down a peg or two?
Yeah, so probably would have really because of it being total conquest. You don't really mind him like dropping a gun hauler down here and taking that objective because if you steal it back, you score the same amount of points anyway. And so you could have easily given him both of these objectives. I mean, could they have done? How much damage can they do?
Yeah, that's it.
I suppose maybe he doesn't know as well.
Unknown quantity as to how much damage they could have done, and that's what we're going to see now.
Yeah, their saves that you wouldn't have had the Battlesmith banner up. You wouldn't have had the Prayer of Ash on, so he would have just been going straight through the armor probably there with the -2 weapons would have been going straight through Hearthguard armor. He wouldn't have had a CP as well, so potentially. Oh no, because he's got the item, hasn't he?
Yeah. I guess it's quite a common thing for Fyreslayers to take first turn because they are that resilient. Especially once they've got their buffs up, they can probably take a double turn. They're not that bothered.
Yeah.
So it looks like the shooting is finished and the character's still alive. He's actually had to charge in with his gun hauler.
Ah.
So 2 wins on the character and killed 4 Hearthguard from that.
Okay, so maybe he just didn't have the range then on his guns because he had to drop 9 away from here, and they screened him off a little bit there, so maybe didn't have range to get into the Magmadroth.
No, all of them will have range to have into the. Probably because he's split between the character and the block. The block is still tanky.
Yeah, exactly.
He could have deployed. If he really wanted to shoot the Magmadroth, he would have thought he'd deploy there.
Yeah, it's true.
But
yeah, seems like a strange decision then.
Not his priority, I guess.
He's done a couple of impact hits on. He's done a couple of impact hits from the charge, and he's gone in. He's killed the character off. Done the character. Yeah, they're in the charge phase. And yeah, he's got a couple of boats into Fyreslayers there, but.
That means he must have, there's a spar torpedo item. So if he's done that in the charge phase, that's probably what he's taking, because otherwise I guess he could have done it with the mines as well, but that's start of the combat phase, so yeah, interesting.
Okay.
There we go.
We're going to just cut to table 3 and...
Ooh.
So we are into Seb's first turn. He has moved his eels forward, and he's also his eels are deep striking. They're coming on from the board edge there with the Soul Scryer. So he's going big on this one objective over here.
Yeah, it looks like
in the top corner. Sorry.
He's identified a weakly guarded objective, and he's going to go and try and take that out.
Yeah. And then I guess he's got a big unit. I mean, these eels will definitely kill a unit of three Fellwaters, even without activating the zaps. And so then if he's got 2 units of 9 sat there, that's kind of a good insurance against losing the turn then, because if he charges if he charges these 2 units into those eels, then they can zap them before they attack and perhaps take off 1 or 2 of them and reduce their damage. That's a nice play. Takes the damage. He'll take that point back. He'll score 4. He'll go into the lead and potentially be quite well protected from
quite happy
losing.
With not losing that objective straight away and using the advantage of taking it, really.
Yes, yeah. So we got another question in the chat from Damien LLV. He asked what I would be playing here in this field if I had the chance, and just to answer him, it would be playing Bone Splitters. Bone Splitters is what I'm going to be playing for the foreseeable future. It's a fantastic book. I really, really enjoy playing it, so that's what I would have regardless.
That's good news. It's good to hear that you think it's still competitive, especially hearing you eulogizing about big stabbers last night. Was
yes, good. Exactly. Yeah. I'm taking them to an event in Amsterdam next week, a big unit of 8 of them, so I'm excited to see what they can do.
That's good.
Yes. So let's have a quick look at game 2. We haven't been over there yet. So let's go and see what's going on. Okay, so we're into the Skaven turn.
So I can't see any Ordinator or Ballistas on, so he's held them back for an extra turn, it looks like.
Interesting, yeah.
He's not sprung his ambushing attack, his ambushing trap.
No.
Waiting for the Skaven to unpack a little bit first before he starts shooting, maybe.
Yeah, he's got the one objective that he can. So he's playing a conservative game. He scored his 2. He'll give, like he could have dropped the ballista down here and the evocators up into the top right, shot off some of these and kept that up, and took that objective first turn. But then I guess he knows he's going to lose it.
Get countercharged by that.
Get countercharged. Yeah, you give away a point. You're giving away an extra point, and then you lose all your ballistas and everything anyway.
Yeah. And the so Death Frenzy just been cast on the Storm Vermin, but you can see the Skaven have got a lovely screen that the clan rats that the Skaven armies bring with them.
Yeah.
Certainly can screen out the whole length of a board.
The whole deployment zone. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Another rule from the Hell Pit is that they healed themselves up. So he's healed up the wounds that he took from the comet.
The comet, yeah, exactly, yeah. Where did the comet land? Is it
there? Was right in front of the clan rats.
Yeah, I see.
So he's not bothered to try dispel it, or if he did, he failed. So it's just going to carry on pulsing away until.
Yeah, so he just he left it. He
knows
that he can.
5 inches now.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be easy for him to move out of it. I mean, I suppose the Hell Pits might not move. Might roll badly and not get out of there, but I don't think he's too worried about chipping off D3 mortal wounds on them.
We don't have a Hell Pit there. I think that's a
it's the Brood Horror.
The Brood Horror is there. This is the bell and the 2.
Yes. You're right.
The 2 Hell Pits are over on the left-hand flank as we're looking at it.
Okay, let's cut to table 3 now. It's the Oh yeah, there we are.
So the guy's pointed his finger, and that means that Eels has got all of the charge, +3
to charge, yeah, so and then Musician gives them a reroll on the charge as well, so a 6-inch charge with a reroll, which means that they're all in. So yeah, that's 2 big units of 9 Eels. Those Troggoths are not long for this world. And yeah, hopefully he doesn't just splurge all of his mortal wounds here and leaves them for insurance.
Yeah, I mean, Seb is quite a jolly fellow at the table, wearing his goggles and normally drinking copious amounts of alcohol.
Yes.
But he's actually quite a canny player, so I'm sure he's not going to splurge, save the mortal wounds for when it really matters.
Exactly, yeah. That was one of the things we were saying at the beginning of the event that was impressed me about Luke at Facehammer when he took it out with the Eels, is his resource management was just fantastic. Just keeping those things until you absolutely need to use them, instead of just like a lot of Deepkin players will just throw everything forward, go for that maximum damage, and often just overkill things. So
yeah, no point in overkilling stuff.
It's a good army, I think, for teaching you about resource management.
Yeah. But looking at the map, I think the Troggoths are really strong on the left-hand flank, and they've got quite a good chance of coming down and taking this objective, whereas the Eels have got a much stronger right-hand flank, and particularly up here at this side. And this is quite a big threat, because these guys are so fast, they can loop around and come into the back of the Troggoth army.
One unit could just fly straight over.
The speed and the damage that they deal.
Exactly, yeah. And then do they get run and charge in turn 2 as well? Is that turn 2?
I think it is, yeah, because it'll be High Tide is turn 3, isn't it?
Yeah,
And that's equally as devastating.
Yeah, exactly, especially for a Trog army that doesn't have any way of countering that. Always strikes first, unless one of the fungoids has Itchy Nuisance.
Yeah. Which I think we've got a fungoid, and I think he's got Hand of Gork. And
of course,
then we've got a Web Spinner who's probably got Sneaky Distraction. So that's the -1 to hit bubble spell. So,
yeah. Okay, we're going to cut to table 1, where the priority roll has been won by KO, who has taken the double turn.
So the Fyreslayers are getting double turned. The amount of damage that was done in the first turn wasn't that impressive, really.
It really wasn't, was it? No. I don't know whether it was more of a...
The bad rolling of the KO guns or the good rolling of the Fyreslayer resilience, which is...
Good saves, but also probably maybe the target priority choice as well. He should have, I think what you said, he should have brought the boats down here, or at least a couple of them, and tried to shoot off the Magma Droth, and then brought some more down here and tried to shoot off the character.
So take out the buffs before you try and engage.
Yeah, exactly. Block. I just don't think there's any point in trying to kill Hearthguard, unless you've got sort of
he's got
many
the
attacks at
teleports
-2
as well.
or 3
He
rend.
could have just gone straight for this objective at the back, because these are only Volkites.
Yeah.
That's not a... So then they haven't got the 4-up after damage, and that's not a Fyreslayer hero.
That's just the Rune Lord, isn't it? Yeah,
so
okay.
he could have quite easily have taken that objective and then moved on from there. But
yeah, he could, I think
especially now the Fyreslayer guy is committed into those 2 corners and used up his movement rune in that first turn.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if he bought all of the boats down here, actually, he probably could have shot that unit off in that turn, moved something onto that objective into that objective in this turn, and then flew off the boats to go and deal with something else. Then
start engaging other. I mean, that's what I would be looking at if I was the KO guy, taking out this, then wearing this down and engaging it. They are just going to stay there.
Yeah.
Because that's their home. They've made a camp in those hills. They've built themselves a little hold. And I don't see them moving.
He's hiding in his overgrown terrain.
Until it gets very desperate, and then they'll start moving out. But by then it'll probably be too late. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because they've used as you say, they've used the movement. Okay, we've just heard the priority roll from game 2 is a draw, which means Tim wins it, and he has taken it.
Tim, the Stormcast.
With his Celestial Warbringers,
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to spring his ambush now. Have the Skaven opened up enough for him to decide to unleash his ballistas? The Comet, of course, pulses and probably kill a rat or 2.
Yeah, a couple of rats, nothing more.
No.
He's managed to get Death Frenzy off again on the Storm Vermin, which is probably quite academic at this point, maybe, but...
Because I would have thought any damage they take is going to be from shooting.
Yes,
he's not going to engage them in combat.
No, so I mean he's got the evocators up in the sky, so it could send them down, but I don't think they would get through the screen. And
they're too well screened off at the moment. So, I mean they've both been fairly conservative in their movement. The Clan Rat screen is still intact.
Up and in effect.
So I think the Stormcast have got to bring down their ambush, and even if they blow away some of the screen and just back up a little bit so that they can... The Skaven don't have the amount of fast movement, and the Gnorhole, so there's a Gnorhole down here in the back behind, but it's blocked off at the moment.
It is, and then this one over here is not really offering him much anyway. I suppose he can deploy 6 out, so he could get a unit there, but as long as there's a 12-inch gap there, he can't do anything about it yet.
So, I think for the Stormcast guy is trying to unlock that Skaven box that's been put in front of him.
Yeah,
and I think he's got the tools for it with the ballistas. Start picking the holes into the screen, and then you can look at putting some evocators through into. Yeah,
it's interesting because I think a lot of the games we watched in the first round and majority in the second round were lots of people rushing forward, going up on objectives early, like trying to win before their opponent has chance to react. And I guess and then a lot of those games were lost in turns 4 or 5
by people that went too hard too early.
Yeah, exactly. So these guys are playing it. They've remembered that it's a 5-turn game. They're not they're not going forward, not committing. So it's good.
Yeah,
it's good
a
play.
lot more cautious. They actually, it means that their movement has been a lot more important, maybe, especially with the screening and stuff like that. So
absolutely, yeah. Okay, we're going to let him get through his hero phase. We're going to go to table 3 now, where Seb has just won the priority. He's obviously cleared off the Fell Waters in the top corner, and then Seb won the priority 6-5.
Oh, yeah. Nice,
and he is... Oh, the Rot Guts piled into the
rear of those eels.
Of the eels in the top corner.
So
and has Seb chosen the turn? We're just waiting to hear back. Yeah. He's taking the turn, so he's gonna go for the double.
Right. So so that means the fact that this unit of eels is locked in now with those rock cuts, I don't suppose it's too much of a problem. You'd hope that those eels would punk those rock guts this turn, but the other unit is free to go and start threatening the center or the back.
Yeah, or maybe even coming across through the middle here to try and take out the.
They've just got so much
threat
movement,
that's encroaching on his. So. Yeah, exactly. They can they can go anywhere they want from there. Really.
So much movement and so much damage as well in those units of eels.
Yeah.
Proper scary.
They are indeed.
Although he's left himself a weak back corner, I think with the amount of threat that he's imposing onto the Troggoth army, I don't think the Troggoths will be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's probably the play, isn't it? You want to start giving these 2 units here something to think about, so they can't, obviously he could go around the back here and start trying to threaten this objective, but then he leaves both of his home ones open because there's still a hand of Gork. Thralls will go down pretty quickly to Trogs, I think.
Yeah, but it's a bit of a long shot on the Troggoth's pass, but interested in this that he's moving forward with them, because that is offering a target for the trolls to charge at. Because the trolls are not that they're faster than some stuff, but they're only movement 6, so they're not fast enough to fly across the board. But if you give them this sort of a distance, now they've got a target to charge at, you're actually making them faster.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas if you hang back,
you stay outside of 18 and you can't make a charge at all. So, what was that?
So Seb has brought a spare pair of goggles, and now the Trog Stuart, the Trog player, is wearing some very shiny goggles. How he can see anything, nobody knows.
Okay, we're going to go to table 1. The shooting phase is over, and he looks like he did 1 wound to the Magmadroth with all of his shooting. Wow.
Oh, but he's taken out the unit of...
The Berserker, the Volkites looked like they've been depleted a little in the top left. Okay, so he's killed four of the Volkites and then charged all the ships in there.
Yeah.
So hopefully if he can finish those off in combat, he should take that objective there.
I wonder if he's used any of his ether gold for re-rolls, and if he has, what he's been re-rolling. Because I don't think it's been re-rolling any shooting.
Oh, okay, yeah, no. So he hasn't used any of his triumphs yet.
Saving all the goodness for some other time, maybe a different game.
Yeah. Well, he's just keeping his gold. Dwarves, they like their gold, don't they? He doesn't want to spend it.
Okay, he's charged a frigate into the Magmadroth. Interesting. Frigates are not really combat beasts.
No, and that Magmadroth is on. He got the Prayer of Ash on him, so he's on a 3-up or a 4-up save.
Yeah, I mean there are some mines, but I don't think they'll do anything consequential to a Magmadroth, other than release its blood, and that's going to burn the frigate. So
yeah. The battle plan we're playing to Mikey in the chat is Total Conquest on all 3 tables. Everyone's playing the same.
But yeah, he's going to be up on points anyway. The end of this turn, which will just bring him back to, because the Fyreslayers started on 3 for the first turn.
They did, yeah.
So Ben getting the 1, so it means he'll be an extra 1 up. but Fyreslayers will still be ahead on points.
Yes.
Come the end of this round. And with a priority roll, again, it's not being particularly impressive on the damage output from the Kharadron.
No, but I mean,
their board positioning.
It does look like a couple of these. Oh no, that was the 4 that he killed in the first turn, wasn't it? Yeah.
He's not particularly threatened these 2 objectives, really.
Yeah. No.
And I guess taking out the Magmadroth means that he can open this up. It's just I don't think the Magmadroth is going to take a lot of damage from a frigate in combat, though.
No. It seems it's like this play makes even less sense now. I think now that he's just jumped everybody over here, he should have done it the other way around.
That was the
he?
original play.
Yeah.
What he did in the second turn, he should have done the first turn. So
it has taken 5 wounds in combat from a frigate. It's interesting, but that means he's only taken 6 in total, so he's still got 6 to go. And it's 5 in total. And so he took 4 in the combat phase, and then it's the Fyreslayer's turn coming up next.
So I expect that this frigate will disappear in the Fyreslayer turn, because those Hearthguard are just going to go over there.
Exactly.
Take it to pieces.
And what he could do then is on the charge as well. He could obviously they'll just breach through that extra movement, string out a few more here, so that they can challenge that objective. Then, if that's how that's the play, he notices that. We're going to cut to table 2. The ballista have dropped down. Let's see if we can find where they are, and they are shooting.
Yeah.
Okay, there they are.
And the Lord Ordinator is just behind.
And they're shooting into the Howl Pit, and they've done 6 damage. The first one, that's done 6 damage. There's still 1 more to fire. And Howl Pits have 12 wounds, maybe? With 5 up saves?
Yeah, 12.
So if he does the same as his friend, the Howl Pit's going to be dead, and he's going to be on a 5-up roll to see if he comes back. We are going to cut to Owen.
Yeah.
In the field.
We'll see how all the rest of the tiers are doing out there. Are they having a tearful time or a cheerful time?
All right, let's go to the man in the field.
Yes, as Nathan says, there's definitely a few tiers out there. There's been some really big plays. I think a couple of the tables, there's been some cagey play, some really nuanced play, certainly in the Mark Wildman, Luke Morton game, and also in JP against Nick Thompson. But in other games, we've just had people going mental. So I think the story of the round so far is in Parr's game on table 6. Parr's Bloodgullet Ogres against Chris Green's Flesh Eaters. Parr managed to one-shot Ghoul King on Terrorgeist with 2 scrap launchers, and promptly ran over and got Rob, and it was a big moment. So yeah, 2 scrap launchers took out the Ghoul King, amazing. Then over on Andy Hughes and Tony Moore's table 8, Tony made a big play. Obviously he can regen this unit, but he threw 30 Grimghast Reapers into Andy's Hearthguard Berserkers, and those Hearthguard activated first and killed 27 out of 30 in one go. So again, massive chunks being taken out of people's armies. Ben Bailey against Greg Shelton on table 10. Ben's Brute Fist, both the Maw Crushers are dead and the Ghoul King's dead. So all the big flappies are off the board. And I think it's just down to the lads now, just down to the boys to try and win that. But he's got a lot of flayers left on the board there, Greg. So I think he'll be all right. In Paul Haley and Stephen Follow's game on table 9, we've got essentially Marathi is on one half of the table against, I think it's 4 Iron Guts and a couple of units of Lead Belchers. And then the whole rest of the armies are all on the opposite side of the table. So it's almost like there's 2 battles going on, but that's still in the balance. James Powell against Joe Purcell. There's not actually much going on. The only news I've got from that table is there's about 4 games worth of models on the board. I think there's maybe 200 models at least on the board there. So it's, so much to chew through and so much to go through there. Nick Thompson and JP Stevens, Living City against Petrifex. Both of them were congratulating each other on the quality of their play. I think Nick gave away the priority into turn 2, won the priority and gave the turn away. And he basically forced JP to use his Mortec and his riders to try and screen out the Living City deep strikes. So there's not much on the board, but finally now everything's on the board for Nick. He's played for the double from 2 to 3, so he's looking to get all the Iron Drakes into the Mortec, get the Chariots up the board and try and get some objectives. Nikos with his Winterbite Ogres against James Williams. James is looking good there. It's in the balance. I think Nikos did the kind of like, the classic wobbly hand sort of, it's in the balance. But James does have good board control with a big blob of Blight Kings in the middle. Liam Jordan against Gabe Huddleston. Again, that's just behind me. I think finally Gabe's moved forward his Maw Crusher. The catapults, again, are the thing that are doing the damage there. There's been catapults going into boys. And then the final game I'm going to go to is just behind me here. It's really exciting. Lee Bromley, he's drunk more than most of the people in the room put together. Jelly shots flying around. But he won a double from 1 to 2, and he's got 4 Stonehorns into James's whole army. There's still eels left on the table. It's stressful, is it? It's really stressful. So James isn't particularly happy about what's going down. There's one Stonehorn gone, but he's losing himself there. So I think I want to get back and find out what goes on there. But yeah, big drama in the hall in Game 3. I'm going to pass you back to the drama on the other tables that the guys are covering. So back to Nathan and Benjamin in the booth.
And here we are back on the tables, looking at the little Dwardenhof.
Dwardenhof. Okay, so we are in the Fyreslayers' second turn. The Kharadron Overlords are on 4 points. The Fyreslayers are on 3. But obviously he's going to score at least 2 this turn.
And with a chance of, threatening this objective, isn't he? So
yeah.
Like
if he strings out a little bit.
I think you may as well go for it.
Yeah, because you're going to need 4 or 5 Hearthguard will take out a frigate probably, won't they?
Yeah.
Depending on which. I guess this is the unit that's in the lodge, because they were the ones that are on the board in range of all the heroes and stuff. So probably can't do a double activation with them there. But he's going the other way.
Up.
Okay.
So he's going for these. He reckons he could take all of them boats. Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, he's played a lot of games with Fyreslayers, so he knows how powerful Hearthguard are. So
it just depends whether this frigate actually had a skyhook on it. Because if it did, then he wouldn't be able to retreat. But I would have retreated him onto them and then put these lads into here and then trailing across like he did.
Yeah.
Like
I think that's it, yeah. The boats can put skyhooks on as well for no retreat?
Oh, no, the skyhook gives you pluses to charge, not the...
Okay.
No, the only ones that could stop the retreating would be the grapples, and that's on the engine riggers or the wardens.
Yeah.
So, fair enough. Not us. So, there we go.
Okay, we're going to switch over to table 2. Let's see what's gone down over here. We heard that he chose to split fire from the second ballista to shoot the other Howl Pit. So instead of focusing fire and taking down the one that he'd already started to shoot, he shot the other one, did 3 wounds, and then took a couple of clan rats off.
Which is not great considering that they can heal wounds.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be taking 2 or 3 off them.
I think if you're going to... in that situation, you always just focus on the one until it's dead.
Yeah, I agree, definitely.
Don't ever split fire, so I think it was a bit of a mistake. Then he's charged in with his evocators on Dracolines into the screen, basically. And looks like the evocator on Dracoline had taken some damage in that turn that he charged in.
Yeah.
We're now in the hero phase.
Okay, so we're into the Skaven phase now. Yeah.
And the bell polishing off that evocator. So not only has he not cleared the screen or killed the Hellpit, he's wounded 2 Hellpits which heal themselves up.
Yeah.
Left himself exposed to counter actions.
Yeah, exactly. You'd imagine that those Hellpits are going to go through those Dracolines now.
Yeah.
And it looks like there's only 2 Dracolines left.
Yeah, one's
died to clan rats.
Clan rats and the bell together.
Okay, so he took a 4 wounds in the hero phase. No, in the combat phase, and then the Screaming Bell has done the pulsing. Rolled for the pulsing 1 mortal wound on everything in 26, and has finished the last wound off. So they're down to 2 now. But they're in combat with some clan rats who are obviously famous for retreating and for being able to retreat and charge, so they can just slip through this gap down here and come into this space here and just open up the avenue for these 2 to charge in and take them out. Okay, so he's cast Crack's Call, which is the spell on the Screaming Bell, onto one of the Ballista, and that's a spell that is better the slower you are, and obviously Ballista only have 3 inches of movement, so he's rolled a 9 and done 6 mortal wounds, which leaves that Ballista just on 1 wound now.
Wow.
So very effective spell against Ballista.
Yeah, but as you were saying, so if he clears the screen out the way, that gives you extra movement now for your 2 helpets, because they've got a target to charge at now, so they can try and charge around the back of that, bringing them closer into this.
Yes, yeah. That's it, yeah. So if you could get a nice high roll and get this one up to here and then round to there, then that is a huge threat onto the objective in the bottom left.
So always trying to use, especially when you got random things like helpets or squick riders, you try and use charges, even if you think, well, it's a waste because what they're going into is going to die anyway, but you need that movement all the time.
Yes.
So if you can maximize your movement.
Yeah, exactly. Like a charge is essentially another free round of movement for a model that's only going 2d6.
Yeah, doubling their move.
Yeah. Okay, let's go and have a little look at table 3. We're in the charge phase. We've just seen a bucket load of dice rolls as we got down. I don't know, that looks like saves, and not many of them, according to our table boss.
Taken off.
So
the rock gut trolls have taken a hammering from that eel. That's eel it. Charge.
All of them dead. It looks like these ones in the top corner as well. They're all 2 dead there, 1 left. So
those goggles are not helping Stu at all.
He has.
So so the trolls here are being whittled down, and there's not a lot left, except now he only owns 1 quadrant of the board. So and it looks like the eels are just running rampant at the moment.
The eels they're sitting in.
They are exposed though.
Exposed,
to a counter charge.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, trolls, they don't
hard.
hit well, but they hit hard.
Yes.
Yeah, and they could, like 2 or 3 of those units going into those eels there should be able to clear them off. And then Trog is on for the double as well. Then, so if you could charge in with 3 units here, clear that 1 unit, and charge in again, take the other unit.
Yes. That will have taken him a couple of turns to get over there.
Yeah.
And then it's just whether he's got enough time then to get onto the back objectives. Because he needs to play catch up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. He does. Yeah, and he's still got Hand of Gorks and stuff. So as long as he keeps his shaman near the Trogs, taking a turn or 2 to take out all of these eels, he's still got time to get across because of the spell. So he could get in his turn 4. Then he could get across and start killing the thralls.
But we're into high tide as well. So all those trolls that go flying over there are going to have to take a punch to the face before they get a turn.
That's a very good point. Yeah, he's got the what's it called?
The high tide ability up.
Yes, he switched the tides around. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we see this is the bad moon, so that's come on finally. It's taken a couple of turns to get going, so there we go.
Okay, all right, we're going to go to table 1 where the Fyreslayers look like they have charged in. The Berserkers are charged into the big ironclad there in the top left. And the frigate as well. Yes. They're touching a few models in the back that.
Yeah, and he's unpacked his little hold that we said he was never going to leave.
Yeah,
he's decided to leave it.
He's left it. It looks like he's left his character sitting in the overgrown terrain still. But yeah, I mean, I guess at this stage he's seen what the KO can do on a double, and he's not scared of it at all.
Yeah,
so
it's
there's
not that impressive.
Yeah,
it's not been very impressive.
No, not at all. So there's no point in sitting back and holding that objective. Might as well go and you might as well go and threaten this bottom one here, which is only defended by 10
Arcanauts.
10 Arcanauts, yeah.
So
okay, we're cutting to table 2 where something exciting is happening. The 2 Hell Pits have charged here, so we get to see what they do.
This is the big commitment by the Skaven army.
Yeah,
we've got Warbringers in. There's another charge. Is that Storm Vermin? And they failed their charge. So
the Storm Vermin did, yeah. But the Warbringers in down here, though, in the bottom corner against the.
Great.
Is that 5 Evocators or Secretors down there? So it looks like he's activating with one of the Hell Pits first on the left-hand side here. I guess when they're piling into single, or when they're charging single models, the Avalanche of Flesh is not going to do very much. No. But he's still got 3. He's still got 6 attacks at Ren 3 and 2 damage, I think. So
yeah,
he's got enough damage even in 1 to take off these last 2 here.
Yeah, Avalanche of Flesh is particularly good against large blocks of small models, but then the other attacks are great against elite models. The rend is high and decent damage.
Yeah,
it should be fine.
So it's good. It's good against hordes and it's good against high armor as well. So it's he's got 3 of those attacks go straight through. J-Clones only have a 4-up save, so there's no saves at all. So 3 have gone through. That's 6 damage. That's killed 1, left the other one on 4 wounds. So he only needs to do. To do 4 wounds. It looks like he's gone. He's still going. He's still attacking. And then Miles is potentially on for the double then. This is the bottom of 2. And look how close that is. So that Hell Pit there is next to that Ballista.
So that one Hell Pit wiping out 2 Draklines fairly easily, I would say.
Yeah, doesn't need...
So we good at to see
13 damage from the 2 attacks on the Hell Pit. 13 for Skaven. Lucky number.
As a little side note, because Miles is charged with this Hell Pit, it would be good to see him move. Still pile in the 3 because he's charged.
Yeah.
So trying to squeeze every inch of movement.
Exactly. Yeah. Again, that like on a bad roll, a roll of a 3.
And but we've still got the Warbringer, and he's fighting some Evocators, I believe, table boss. The Warbringer is fighting Evocators or Secretors. So
okay. Yeah, so this is the combat we're looking at now is down in the bottom corner. The Evocators have piled into the Warbringer. Going to see if they can take it down a bracket or 2 before it hits. The Warbringer is one of the slightly more offensive.
Yeah, he's
output.
Yeah,
his glaive is. He could do a bit of damage with that. He could potentially just take that unit off in one activation, really.
But like with Skaven, he's actually quite tanky. I think the Vermin Lords are surprisingly tanky with their 5-up ignore.
Yeah, 12 wounds on a 4-up save and a 5+. Okay, we're going to quit to table 1. The combat here with the Hearthguard. He has finally spent some of his gold, and he's used it for reroll saves
on the Ironclad.
On the Ironclad, which has survived on 1 wound against all those Hearthguard Berserkers.
20 Hearthguard Berserkers, which are probably one of the most choppy units in the game.
Yeah.
So to be able to survive that, that's quite
impressive.
Exactly.
So it's got a 3-up save, hasn't it? The Ironclad. So with the reroll saves triumphs, he would be down to. It'd be a 4-up re-rolling with the -1 rend. I don't know what those ones are armed with in the bottom corner. The Hearthguard in the bottom corner, whether they're pole axes.
It looks like the other unit's got the pole arms. Yeah,
broad
so
axes.
Those are the broad axes.
Yeah, so they're 2 damage apiece, but they don't have any mortal wounds, so it will be only -1 rend. So it's 4 up re-rolling, which will reduce 75% of incoming damage if that was on full wounds. It's it would have had to put quite a lot of output to kill that then.
So, and if being an Ironclad, it can heal itself. He's also got an Engine Master inside, which can also do some more healing. So I'm assuming he won't be able to fly high, so he won't be able to teleport away.
Yes,
but he can
that's
still
true.
disengage, which means he can still fall back or retreat and then still shoot.
Yeah, because obviously the output of or does it go down? I don't think it does go down very much anyway. The output of the guns probably not at all.
No. It's mainly just their speed is affected, really.
Okay, yeah.
And then...
Okay, so we're going to cut to table 1. There's some big charges coming. Table 1. Oh, no.
Table 3.
Table 3. There we go. So...
Right, so the trolls have moved over. They've lined themselves up on that central squad of eels, and they're going to go rushing in there.
They're going to go in.
Clubs brandishing.
Despite the high tide, they're just going to rush right into those waves, power through, and hit the eels behind.
Find out that the eels have got always strikes first.
Yeah. But he's putting enough units in there, so hopefully, if he is smart with the way that he charges, he should have at least. Okay, that's. Thank you for that, table boss. Apparently, these eels in the centre here haven't used their zaps, so not only are they fighting first, they're also putting out some mortal wounds.
Yeah.
So it's an average of 1 per eel, isn't it? Normally, so it looks like they're 8 or 9. So that should kill a trog or 2 before they even activate.
Well,
although they're much less offensive on the charge, though. They lose their rend.
Yeah, if you can, you always should charge the eels because, yes, definitely on the charge, the eels, the riders.
The riders get extra rend and extra damage, don't they? It's,
so yeah, all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Just charge them
and
if you can.
Okay.
So, I still don't see Scuttle Tide has been cast, is it?
No, he failed that.
Failed to cast that.
Yeah.
And but we've got the little web spinner shaman there. That's where he's trying to be cast. So that's not really doing his job, is he? And then we've got the fungoid shaman. He's hiding over there with the Hand of Gork spell, which again has not really been something.
No, and
needed.
What's the range of it to?
So you pick up a unit within 24.
Oh, okay, so it's got quite a big range. But I think he still wants to be moving this fungoid now closer to where the trolls are going to be fighting, so that he's got the option to teleport some of them either over here or over here in the top or down here in the turns to follow. Yeah,
because he is running out of time, and like we said before, they're not the fastest of beasts.
No, exactly. He's already 5 points down.
Loads of movement. So
yeah. Yeah, he's 5 points down now. He's probably only going to score 1 this turn. So yeah, he needs to be getting on those objectives. He needs to kill these eels this turn and get into those objectives. Yeah.
Some big charges. I wonder if the important charge I see this turn is these guys actually threatening the 2 blocks of thralls and
the Reavers there.
And Reavers.
Think, yeah.
Just depend. I assume those
I think they're Reavers because they moved forward to shoot, didn't they? Yeah,
Reavers,
that's probably why they moved forward from here to go forward to shoot.
And so, in fact, so then...
so Reavers won't kill Troll, so...
No, I would get those rock guts in there as fast as can.
In that bottom left corner there?
No, so the dank hold.
Oh, the dank hold.
So So Dankold in the top, re-rolling his charge. I don't know what he's charging at from there. He's rolled a 10. Where's it going to go?
Yeah, is he going to get within half an inch of something here?
Where's it going to go?
Where's he charging?
Oh, it's this troll up here.
Oh, the Dankold up there. Okay, there's another one on the left.
Yeah, there's two.
Yeah.
It's unusual to see one, never mind two. And we didn't see the other one.
And those eels that he's charging into have already used their zaps.
So he's going.
Yeah, and actually he's in a nice little place
right
there because
a
couple of those eels popped at the back there might not be able to attack.
He's got a decent amount of damage with his club, and he's also got the chance of crushing one to death with his grip.
Ah.
So
that sounds quite
very
satisfying,
swinging.
crushing an eel to death with it.
Well said. Sure. Oh no, double one charge, but command reroll on the important charge. And here we go. Yeah, I think that's
just enough.
One of the most important charges this turn. This is an interesting charge though. I do like this little thing.
Yeah.
Because the Dankolds are swingy, it could really pay off nicely. Has he got a hero up there somewhere? Because the eel's bravery is not that great.
No, it's only bravery 6. Yeah, the Soul Scry must be around there somewhere.
Oh yeah, there he is in the terrain.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah, and the Tidecaster's down there at the bottom left as well for bravery. Seb is sitting on 2 CPs, so he's got enough to.
And this is actually still only turn 2 for the eels and things, so it's not high tide yet. But high tide is coming next turn.
I think he's got a Tidecaster, hasn't he? So he flipped the tides.
Tide. So this was the high tide turn.
This is high tide now, yeah. So if he can do well in this turn, then there's no high tide in the next turn. If he can win the double, I think that would swing back in his favour.
Yeah. Big time.
Especially if this, as you say, this is an interesting combat here, because if he can kill maybe 2 or 3 eels,
then he might kill more than 2.
Yeah, and then these ones go across. Well, what's it? I don't know what his profile. What's his combat?
So he's got
profile like
3 attacks that can do D6 damage.
Oh, okay.
Also
so he could
can
kill.
just crush one to death, like I said. So.
Okay. So he could kill
4.
Yeah, maybe 4. That'd be good because then he could split the units, send that 3 over there to finish them off and take the objective. You can maybe send 1 unit over here to retake that one.
But it does rely on being quite lucky with the dice for that to happen. To be honest.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay, we're going to go to table 2. So the Warbringer looks like he's killed that unit down here in the bottom corner. So he must have one-shotted them now. We're into priority. It's already been rolled. Tim won the priority again, and it looks like he's taken it.
Yes, the Stormcast have to take that priority. Not giving that away, are they?
Oh, absolutely not.
They've sort of been caught with their pants down a bit, so he's got to deal with that Warbringer and those 2 Helpets.
Yeah, and he's lost 1 ballista now.
And his Evocators, which are on Dracolines.
There are what, sorry? Oh, there's another 5 Evocators in the sky. They've got to come down this turn because it's turn 3.
So his big damage threats were the Evocator on Dracolines, and they got exchanged for a few
couple of clan rats.
That was a terrible exchange.
Yeah.
And then obviously losing one of the ballistas to Crack's Call and other spells. He's
exactly.
really on the back foot.
Yeah,
he's got Evocators, which are decent enough if they get a chance to fight. But even if they do get rid of this Warbringer, it just means that they're lining themselves up for this great big, lovely mess.
Exactly. They give an easy target for them to charge into, trail out a few down here, take the objective. Yeah,
and then you've got nothing really for the Stormcast to counter with. That will deal with 40. I mean, you've got a few Evocators here and a few here.
And the Taurolon that's the Taurolon there, is it?
Yeah, so that's not enough to...
It's not enough.
That's going to be the target of the Storm Vermin. when it happens. So.
Yes, yeah.
But we'll see what maybe the Stormcast player's got some tricks up his sleeve. He's the comet's been lifted, so is he going to drop it?
Dispelled it and recast it somewhere.
Down? No, it looks like we're into.
Okay,
let's into shooting again into the hell pit there. So fair enough. I've got it back there. Yeah, so that must have been shooting. I don't think it was a spell.
Okay, so he's done 4 wounds to the hell pit there. Yeah, that was with shooting from the ballista, was it? Okay.
So he's done his movement already. He's not really moved into very threatening positions with anything.
Okay, so the Taurolon is going in against the Warbringer up here.
Big hero on hero action.
Not okay. Okay, let's no, let's wait. Let's watch this. Let's watch this Taurolon. I don't know what Taurolons do. So let's watch this and let's see if
dice roll. That looks like the what's that? An evocators.
Okay, so the evocators that dropped down rolled a 2, which he used a CP. He rolled a 3, and he failed. So this is the unit in the bottom corner here. Yeah. Let's skip and have a look at table 1. Okay, so KO won the priority again, and it looks like he's taken it. Which, yeah, so we've missed the movement phase, we've missed the hero phase, so we're straight into shooting.
Unable to remove that ironclad. Which is
big, yeah. He's left it on 1 wound, which means it can't fly high, but it's still got its damage output.
Still could have retreated.
And these guys
and shot.
These guys aren't near it. It doesn't look like they're within 10 inches of a hero now.
No.
And so he has started to whittle them down. These Hearthguard Berserker. They've got what, 7 or 8 left there. There's another 2 being taken off.
Yeah.
7 left now. Yeah.
If all of those boats offloaded into there.
Yeah.
But then you would have maybe have brought your other boats around just to make sure it happened, but...
Yeah, I mean, the fact that this Magma Drop is still alive now after 3 turns of moving around and shooting is quite...
it's
quite
not
something.
Been very impressive,
significant.
The shooting output,
yeah.
I'm afraid to say.
Yeah, so... So we've got Ben on 4. He's going to score what? Will he retake this? And I suppose he needs to kill that Magma Drop.
Two
boats there. Oh, so he takes it anyway.
Yeah.
So he scores 2 more, goes to 6, and then 7 for this top one. So he's 2 points ahead. With probably the Fyreslayers cannot contest any of those 2 this turn. They'll probably get this one. So then he will score. So he'll score 3 and go to 8. So it's still a really close game.
Yeah, I assume the Ironclad has healed some wounds in the hero phase, and so, but I still see it going down this turn in the combat.
In the combat phase,
to the Hearthguard.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's on to 5 wounds. Healed 4, so he's up to 5 wounds, but I still see it going down to the broad axes, and that means that in the Fyreslayer turn he can move into this zone.
And take that. Yeah, it's true.
So, and then
if all of the shooting is over now and there's still 7 of them left, yeah. Although it depends. Have they lost a lot this turn? How many did they lose this turn? Of the Hearthguard, because they might be getting battle shocked there. Okay. The Rune Lord. Yes. Okay, so they won't get battle shocked off. Okay. While they resolve that, we're just gonna send. You're going to see Owen. I'm going to put you across now.
Thank you very much, Benjamin. Yeah, I think I'm on. I must be on. Wow, must say, this turn, this game 3 at Sheffield Slaughter, absolute honour to be here. I've seen some amazing plays and some amazing games. There's people are powering up and there's screams and hollers around the tables. Big moments of drama, but also some really good tactical play. So yeah, I'm going to just quickly give you a rundown of the tables we've been looking at. Essentially, table 10's all over. Ben Bailey lost his 2 more crushers, and Greg Shelton's Blisterskin Flesh Eaters. They got the win there. They were really happy with the game. You know, both of them seemed to have a great time. But yeah, I think Greg just edged him out there. I think the screams from all the multiple flayers really did the damage there. Another game where it seems like the flayers are making the difference is on table 6 with Par against Chris Green. Obviously, earlier in the game, we saw that amazing moment where the Ghoul King got one-shotted. But after that, I think it still left too many flayers on the board, and the screams for those flayers with the low bravery of some of the ogres, they've just managed to chew through. So I think Chris is going to get that. Chris Ascendant is the note I have, so I think he's going to take that. Paul Haley against Stephen Follows. That's another game where there's a big key piece that's gone down. Paul hasn't lost Marathi, but he has lost his Cauldron. Stephen's Underguts sort of shooting ogre's army has taken the Cauldron off. So I think that there's going to be... Rob's blowing kisses at me. I'll just blow him a little one back. One to you, sir. Yeah, there's a lot of love in the room. We're having a great time. Back on track. Lofthammer, Paul, his daughters, they don't have that additional save now from the Cauldron. So I think if Stephen plays it well and he's a good player, then I think he may be able to shoot off all those witches and win the game. Another player who's playing really well at the moment is the stream's very own Nikos. Looking at his game, early on James had really good board control with all the Blight Kings and was pressing home, but now Nikos has used that to his advantage and he's wheeled round on one flank, ploughed in with a Stonehorn, and he's got lots of the small units of cats which are capping. So he's played a really, really nice game there and outflanked him really well. So I think even though the points are tight, I think that I would probably say Nikos may take that. Looking elsewhere, the note I've got on the Andy Hughes Tony Moore game is grinding. It's a mega grind fest. They're really they've got Hearthguard Berserkers crashing in to the Grimghasts and all the Chain Rasps, and there's not much dying, but they're all just in the centre of the board, so that's quite hard to call. Another one that's hard to call is the game between James Powell and Joe Purcell. I still can't call that at all. It's there's still a lot of models on the table. There's a lot of players who are flanking in this mission. They seem to be holding, seeing which side is weaker, and then using the faster elements of their armies. So in Joe's case, his Griffin and his cavalry. They've then wheeled round. Another really impressive flanking move is just happening behind me with Gabe. He's weathered the storm from the catapults, and now his Maw Crusher's finally emerged from the back corner of the board, and he's punched through on his right-hand flank, and is now looking to tie up and hold those 3 objectives. That's really tight, but I think Gabe's got plenty of boys left, so that's looking good for Gabe and his big war. Elsewhere, again over my left shoulder, Luke Morton and Mark Wildman. There's only 2 points in that. We're into turn 3, so all the Eels are going to be able to go first. So I think we'll be able to call that game a little bit better, a little bit easier once that turn 3 is out of the way. But what's turning into, one more now before I go to the last game. We've got Nick Thompson with his Living City. Him and JP have been commentating on the quality of each other's play. I think they're having a really good time. Nick played for the double. He got that double, so he brought his Drakes down, and they've managed to push on a flank. So we've got 20 Iron Drakes buffed by the Rune Lord, along with 3 Gyrocopters looking to rinse through 20 Mortek and a Harvester and really crumble that flank. So I'm really interested to see how that is. And probably the game of the round. We've had all sorts of shouts and drama from James Tinsdale against Lee Bromley. Lee got that big double earlier, as I described, and he's channeling the power of the Jello shot. I think James has only got 10 Eels and Volturnus left. Absolutely awesome game. It's swung back now. After Lee doubled from 1 to 2, James has doubled from 2 to 3. I've just seen the Stonehorn taken off, and James is confident he's won now. So I think the noises from the table there are that James has got that after a big scare early. And that's it really. As I say, the main point that I've got to make at this point, and absolute honour to be here, some wonderful Warhammer going on. Everyone's really happy. And I'm going to pass you back now to Benjamin in the booth with Nathan.
So
hey, we're back.
What the dwarves have got up to. Yeah, welcome back. So Ironclad's gone.
It is gone. Okay, so that would have been in the Ben's combat phase.
But the Magmadroth has gone as well.
Ah, so it has.
So, so these two must have shot off that Magmadroth. I would have liked to have seen these Fyreslayers pile around a bit more into the zone.
Yeah.
Before they took.
Yeah, they could have potentially. They could potentially, because he's already got one there. Yeah. He's got the Rune Lord. There's only 3 boats, so he only needed 3 more to just touch in to.
Just circle around that.
Just circle around, yeah.
So.
Yeah, he probably could have done that, couldn't he? Looking at it there, it doesn't look like they've moved at all.
No, I don't think they did. But they've taken the Ironclad off, and he's set up nicely now for his turn. Because that was Ben's turn.
That was, yeah. We're into Fyreslayer's turn 3 now. He's 3 points behind, but he's gonna score.
Yeah, he's going
to score that one.
Yeah. Sorry.
Does Ben own? Yeah, Ben will own that at the moment.
Yeah.
So he'll score that one and he'll score 2. He'll score his home one up here.
Yeah.
Score 3, and then looks like he'll take this now, won't he?
Oh,
that's him moving forward there. Yeah. So he'll take that. So he'll score 5. He'll go to 10. So the end of turn 3 potentially will be 10-5. The Fyreslayers.
And these boats will be locked in combat with these last 7 dwarves.
Yep.
And some damage should go across there.
Yeah, depends how he splits the attacks there. He could probably just focus fire and take out one of the gun haulers.
Yeah, and then it does look like the Kharadron force has then not got a lot left to try and retake.
Yeah, but
back,
he has left this almost completely undefended now. Unless he moves a couple of these characters into the centre, one of these boats can just pop down there and take that. So he could, and then if he wins the double, then he could potentially retake that from the Hearthguard if he can kill enough. Retake the top left from the Hearthguard, and then he could score 5 then as well. So it's such a good mission for that swing back and forth. Yeah.
And the 2 armies have actually it's made it really tight and really even game.
Yeah.
We've not seen particularly great shooting, and some of the Fyreslayer movement hasn't been great either.
Yeah, and I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's turned out to be quite a tight game.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. It's still all to play for, I think. We're a big priority coming up. So he's decided to only charge into the 1 boat there, so...
Yeah, so he's charged into that frigate. You take that out. It does mean the other 2 boats are only gun haulers.
Yeah,
but they can always fly high. It doesn't matter how many.
They can. Okay, so they can definitely get out. You can definitely get one.
If there's 2 heroes there, then you could probably drop them both there and try and plonk one of the heroes off.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like a good plan to me.
Take that gold off of them.
Yeah. I think what I'd probably be doing here with this charge as well as he makes it is just string a couple of them out there. Yeah. You're going to need like 4 or 5 to kill Arcanauts. Yeah. You need probably 2 or 3. You know, like
some of them
you can
charge backwards.
String out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them should be charged. Like you say, these ones are just standing around not doing anything.
Yeah.
They should be charging this way.
Yeah, to push out his flying high redeploys and to keep on the objective.
Yeah, more bodies on the board and zoning out.
Yeah, and then it just means that they're closer to here then as well. If he does decide to drop over here, you can move 4 and you've got a much shorter charge into the boats at the top there. You're giving yourself more options from where you can go stringing out because it's extra movement, isn't it? Yeah.
Because really the Kharadron player can use these 2 as well because Fyreslayer's not really threatening this.
They can't get over there.
Yeah. So.
In fact, it's probably better for him if he moves those 2 out of the way, so then he's got nothing to charge. Yeah. He's not going to get across there in 2 turns. Yeah. So this one in the bottom left here is pretty safe.
It's a safe Kharadron hold for now, and he can use those boats to try and get some shooting into those characters or into that other block of Hearthguard.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to cut to table 2. Let's have a look what we've got here. We've got the 2 Howl Pits down here, both made charges. The Ballista's dead. The 2 Howl Pits have charged into this last unit. After their performance on the Dracolines a minute ago, you'd think that they will clear that objective completely now.
Yes, it does look like Skaven own a lot of the board. The Stormcast Toralon did take out the Warbringer in the previous turn.
Ah, wow. That's interesting. He took him out, the Taurolon. No one even knows what he can do. No one's seen him. So he can kill Warbringers. We know that much now.
Yeah.
We've all learned something today. But he's, as you said when we left, it does leave him open for a big charge by these Storm Vermin, who have surrounded him now, and you would imagine will take him out. Storm Vermin hit hard. So that's 39 attacks. They've got 2 attacks each, have they?
And that's only into the Evocators.
Oh, that's just into the Evocators.
Not even into the Taurolon. So I think the Taurolon is gone. The Evocators probably gone.
Yeah.
And the Hellput should take care of the rest of those Evocators.
Yeah.
Leaving him just.
Miles is going to score. Miles will score a full 8 now, probably, won't he?
Yeah, he's going to score.
Well, no, not full 8, but he'll score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our table boss then just told us. Our table boss Rob just told us he's miles ahead.
Terrible.
Awful. But in a very, very good position, though, Miles.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Stormcast have just run out of bodies now. And their threats are...
Yep, 23 saves on Evocators, is this as well, or Secretors? So they're not re-rolling their saves, so they've got 23 5-up saves to make, 10 wounds in the unit. Oh, they are Secretors, so they will be re-rolling saves. So they're 5-up re-rolling, 23 saves.
Still dead.
Yeah, 8. One might be alive. Might be about 8 or 9 mortal wounds. So yeah, this is the Storm Vermin attacking into the Taurolon now. Oh, yeah, you never see them. You do. Very, very expensive Storm Vermin. They put out a lot of output, but...
So there's the reroll, but... That's 1, 2, 3...
3.5,
so
yeah.
One
That's
down.
it. 1 left.
One might be wounded, yeah.
Quick maths.
There we go. So, and then obviously all the attacks now into that Taurolon. That will have a 3-up save.
Should do, yeah. 12 wounds and 3-up save.
On a big bird. You would have thought so.
Yeah, you'd think so, yeah. A lot of the Stormcast heroes have 3-up saves anyway, so...
But you still kind of expect that fella to go down, I think, to these stabby Storm Vermin.
66 attacks. And Storm Vermin hit on 4... Oh, well, actually, at that big unit, there'll be 3s and 2s, won't they?
Yeah.
-1 rend, 1 damage. He's only got 8 wounds left anyway. There's 10 wounds on a 3-up save, that Taurolon is, and a 6-up shrug afterwards as well.
Yeah, you kind of see that guy going down, and Battle Shock will probably... Oh no, we've got a hero here, so that last Evocator might survive for now, but not for long.
Yeah, because it is Miles is on for the double as well, isn't he?
Yeah, and it's not really going to help him in trying to keep that gold, so...
Yeah, no, exactly. He's already lost the objective. There's not much one Secretary can do.
Are lost.
Anyway, so we'll have a look at. We'll cut to table 3 while he's rolling out all those 66 attacks. We'll let you know what happens with those.
So the trolls in the centre have done a number on those eels, leaving 2 eels left.
Did Seb win the priority over here? Win to turn 3. He rolled a second 6 for his priority, so we are into turn 3, and we're in Seb's turn. He rolled a 6 on priority and decided to take it.
Looks like that Dankold only managed to kill 1 of those eels.
Yeah, maybe 2. Yeah.
Looks like he's taken a bucket load of wounds.
Yeah, looks like 8 wounds there, at least 7 wounds. 7 wounds he's taken, and they've got what, 10?
Yeah. The moon has moved into the centre of the board. So
okay. What does that mean for Trogs?
They can re-roll their dice for regeneration.
Okay.
But it's not going to help them because it's probably not regenerating until his own hero phase.
Yeah.
These 3 trolls down here
must have taken out those 1 unit Reavers,
but
didn't get the objective.
Still haven't got the objective.
Okay, an update from table 2. The Taurolon did die from those 66 attacks. Okay. We're going to switch to table 1 now. The priority was won by KO again, 3rd time in a row, and have taken it. So where does that put us? It puts us on 8-8 at the end of that turn. I thought that...
So level.
Yeah, I thought he was going to score... I thought he was going to go up to 10, Mike, here, but... no, and... So we've done the movement. You can see he's jumped all of his ships over here, so he does steal this objective now.
Yes.
He's probably put that one there too close. Why don't you just put them... I suppose he's got the 9 inches, but why don't you just put them all there? Just clipping the things. So now he's given a really short... Yeah, he's given a really short charge to those Berserkers. Is this another unit of Arc?
Yeah, there's another unit of Arcanauts that run onto that objective, so... But 8, maybe 9, 10... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... so it doesn't look like there's enough of them to get it back unless they do some good shooting.
Yeah. Which they haven't done yet. So
their little pistols. So
yeah, I suppose the pistols are quite good at short range, aren't they? Is there a hero near them? It doesn't look like it. That looks longer than 10 inches, doesn't it?
So if they can whittle down this unit with shooting and battle shock, use other missile weapons from these to try and kill at least one of those heroes or 2. And
if you can take out those,
there's only
the
a
last
few
3
of
there.
those.
There's 3 of them left now. So at the end of this turn, he could just have this 1 unit left.
Yeah. In which case, the
Kharadron would probably take it. Yeah.
They've got the maneuverability.
Because he scored
super close to call.
On the top left, it's just 2 heroes, the Rune Lord and... So in this top left, there's just 2... Is it 2 Hearthguard or 2 characters? There's the Rune Lord.
I think the Rune Lord died earlier.
Oh, did he?
2 Hearthguard Berserkers. 2
Hearthguard. Okay. They all look the same. All the models look the same. Our table boss is getting confused. Yes. Yeah. So in this turn, the KO have retaken that top right, so they're going to score 2 points for that. It looks like they're going to get this one again, so that's a steal back as well, isn't it? Because Mike scored that in his turn, so that'll be another 2, and they'll get that for 5, and he'll go to 13, with Mike only being able to score this one that he took last turn, so he'll only score 1, and then potentially if he does charge up here, he'll score 3 maximum there, so he'll go to 11. So I think this...
It looks like it's going towards Kharadron.
Looks like it's swung back in the Kharadron's favour, yeah. Which is really interesting because I think the Kharadron player could have played this a lot better. And so maybe we haven't seen this list at its full. We haven't seen it at its full potential, but he's still beating Fyreslayers,
which are
one of the hardest armies in the meta at the moment.
Tier army, aren't they?
Yeah. Exactly, 2 units of Hearthguard Berserkers. One of them's dead. The other one... I guess that's... I was having a conversation with Alex Bruce in between the rounds, and we were talking about how much more important the priority role is at the moment as well. Yes. Just because of the sheer output of some of the books, priorities are just deciding games more than ever, I think, at the moment. And Seb has, Ben has obviously won all of the priorities here, which is what's kept him in the game, I think, and pushed him into the dominant position here as well now, potentially.
It definitely wins games and keeps people in games. Like the first round when we saw JJ versus Mark, the game went all the way to the wire, but really only because JJ won all of the priorities in that game. I think if Mark had won any priority, that game would have finished probably that turn.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we cut to table 2 now. Let's see what's going on there. All the combats are over. The Hell Pits have killed all of the Stormcast that were over there. This is where the Taurolon was. There is 1 Evocator left still.
And 5 hiding in the corner.
Yeah, and then the 5 down here.
on a special disc.
Yeah. And we're going into the priority roll. So Tim has won the priority again, so he's also won all the priorities in this game as well.
It's not helped him that much.
But
be honest.
yeah, it's not going to help. I don't think. I don't know whether he can even score a single point back here.
So we've got 1 Sequitur, the Lord Arcanum on the disc, and 5 Evocators versus.
But
30,
Tim is taking the turn and playing it.
20 odd.
He's not giving up. He's going all the way to the end.
A
A journey to the end of the night. But it doesn't look like there's a lot he can do. It looks like that game's in the bag. So shall we just switch to table 3? Okay, let's have a look. What's going on here? So we're still in Seb's turn. Seb's turn 3. Seb's combat phase we're in now.
Right. So he's not retreated those 2 eels out of there.
Okay, so it's the sorry, the Trog in the top right here is activating. What were you saying then? Sorry. No?
So I'm surprised that Seb didn't retreat those eels out. Cause it's pretty much going to go one way, and not the eels way.
Yeah, because there's 2 of them and only 1 guy there. He could have just flew over the top, taken that objective.
Yeah, I think there is a hero here.
Oh, there is. Yeah,
but even
fungoid,
if you retreat into there, I don't think they have retreat and charge this turn.
No,
I don't know.
I don't know when it flips the tides. Yeah, it might be retreat and charge this turn though. Yeah.
Even if they're there, at least they're going to do something for a turn. Whereas just staying there, they're going to die.
Yeah.
I can't see them surviving this round of combat.
No, exactly. No, it's not high tide anymore.
Reavers have charged into the.
Killed a couple with shooting, I guess.
Yeah, killed and charged into those rock guts. It looks like 2 of them have gone down. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the unit of thralls. That will explain that. They're a lot more choppy. So these 2 must have died in combat.
In combat, okay, yeah.
Right, gotcha.
Okay. And the unit in the centre of the board is Reavers, is it, at the moment? And it's Thralls on the objective, or the other way around? Thralls on the objective in the bottom right. Oh, Reavers are on the objective down here. So those are Reavers, those are Thralls, those are Thralls.
Right. The Thralls are pretty good, really, still.
Yeah, against big targets. So they want to fight with anything with 1 wounds or more than 2 wounds, isn't it? So against Trogs, yeah, they
do their job.
Absolutely.
I mean, you don't see. The only reason why you don't see more of them is just because eels are just so far ahead.
Just so efficient for their points. Yeah, really cost effective. Houselm down in the chat says turn 4 is retreat and charge, but is that the case even when he's flipped the tides? Because that does change things, and normally I think it is the turn after high tide, isn't it, that you have retreat and charge so you can get out of combat. Okay, so we've seen the 2 eels in the centre activate into the trolls, and it looks like they've killed a rock
gut. Yeah, and put a wound on the other one.
Okay, it's probably not going to be enough to spare them.
No, I think those 5 rock guts, those 2 rock guts and 3 fell waters should see them off.
So it's the 1 rock gut now attacking into the thralls in the bottom left. Looks like he's hit with both.
And the Rend 2, 3 damage each, I think. So should see a decent handful of these fellas.
He's taken 3. Is he taking another 3? He's killed 6. Is there a hero down there? I think there is a hero down there, the Tidecaster. Okay, he's in the terrain, the hero. Yeah. So hopefully he's still within 6 inches.
He's not
so
within 6. That is because that circle.
He's the general though, isn't he? Because he would have flipped the tides. So that's the tide. Oh, sorry. So that's the Tidecaster.
So.
Eels in the top right, activating into the big Trog, who looks like he's only got maybe 3 or 4 wounds left.
It depends whether he's the Trog hero or just a dank old Trog in his pants.
Is that Trog himself? Ah, okay, so it's not the Trog, that's the Trog.
Why is that Trog not in a fight? Why is he standing around shining his club?
So, yeah, the eels are activating into... So that would just be a regular Dankhold, wouldn't it, then?
Yes. So, 4-up save. probably should go down.
Oh. Okay, there's an update on table 1. Let's switch over to there. The handshake. Oh, they've had a handshake and it's gone to KO.
Yeah, well, it looks like they've killed one of the heroes there. So that definitely means he's got that one back. No Slayers over here, so he's got that one back.
So he scored 5 points there. Or 6.
Obviously, that's his all along. The bottom left one was his all along. And it doesn't look like there's enough bodies in the
No, he
bottom.
has, yeah. He's retaken that one as well.
So
he's shot off enough. Has he shot some off there? And he's taken them from... It looks like, yeah, Mike would have taken them from there. So he's lost that objective as well. So he scored... Okay. Oh, okay. So we missed the Fyreslayers' turn there. Sorry. So the Fyreslayers have moved up here, and they've gone to charge over onto the boats, and made the charge, but then decided to re-roll it to get a bigger charge, and then got a double 1.
Right, failed the charge.
So then that must have been the point when he shook hands, because he's not going to score any points this turn now, and KO's too far ahead, so he can't win. Yeah. So the KO have taken it.
Yeah, skills.
Yeah.
All that Aether Gold.
All that Aether Gold.
Didn't spend it, just saved it for a rainy day.
Saved it for a rainy day. Okay, let's cut back to table 3. Table 2 we're going to go to.
And
it's also over. Okay, so yeah, so table 2 is also over. They have shaken hands. They're playing it out till the end. Miles being a good sport.
Stormcast being taken off, and lots of rats running around with all the stuff.
Yeah. Table 3.
So back to Trogs versus Eels.
Yep. Trogs turn 3 we're into now.
Looks like another thrall ran away, possibly. There's only 3 left there. Oh, the Dankhold in the top
went
right
down.
has gone down. And
okay. So can the Trogs still win this game? What do you think, Nathan?
So, I mean, the score is still quite close, surprisingly.
Yeah.
7-3. Is this turn 3? I think the score needs to be updated on this. Yeah. So is this this is
Trogs turn 3? Yeah.
Turn 3.
Oh yeah, because.
Okay.
But Seb didn't score in that turn. It's turn 3. Seb's taken his third turn.
So just double checking here on where we are with the turns and the
so
scores.
it should be on 10, I think.
I'm pretty sure the overlay needs to be updated there.
Yeah.
But
so let's assume it's 10. 10-3. Okay, it is 10-3. So he's 7 points behind.
So he's got a lot of catching up to do now.
So he needs to be scoring 5 this turn. Can he do that? If this guy comes down here, he's still on the objective.
Yeah.
But so he needs that one to survive.
So you'll need him. I would retreat him off into the circle. This one into those 3, kill them. So, but making sure you charge so you clip the circle as well.
Yep.
So you've got 2 models in there.
Yep.
Then at least you score 2 there. And then go and score 2 there. Oh, we got a little web spinner throwing a pendulum out.
Ah, nice.
So he's going to do D6, but I still don't think that's enough to...
And he's there. No, it's got 4, so he can't kill them.
So, yeah, we've got too many wounds in there for that to kill them. Are we with Battle Shock?
Yeah.
Something could happen.
Oh, the hero's still there.
There's still a hero in the back corner, yeah.
But
so
that pendulum's heading towards him now. So regardless of because of the way he's placed that pendulum, regardless of who wins the turn, those eels are going to get hit again.
And then there must be a priority now.
Yeah, so priority will be after this round. Okay.
I don't understand. So the pendulum is gone in there, but he does need to get models in there. So it's whether he can get these 3 fell waters into there.
So he doesn't want to kill too many more, because if he takes the closest one off to you, if he takes that closest one off.
So it's going to be 2, 4, 5, but it means he's still 2 points behind.
2 points behind.
And then
hopefully
win the priority.
He'd definitely score at least 3 then, because he'll keep those. So go 1 point ahead.
And
then what?
What can he do? So unless he can.
But then he's only because if he can kill those with the other unit of 3.
Yeah.
Then he's only got them, and they can't go. He's only got the Reavers in the bottom corner there. And they can't go anywhere, so they could only score
the
1
field.
point.
Definitely.
So it could be 12 all at the end of turn 4.
And then it would go down to priority. And then if that's all that's left, then Trog wins it.
Yeah.
Because he controls the board, really. But it's just.
He's going over here. Is he? Yeah, I think that's the right. I think that's the right call, isn't it? Going for the Reavers there, because you want something to charge over here, and if you do any more damage, Trog's head's just in the way now, but the unit behind here, the eels,
you want them as a target to aim at,
to charge. If he kills one more, then he reduces his charge by a couple of inches, I think, or extends his charge by a couple of inches.
But he's put it there because if he puts it into this unit and then he charges that unit, the spiders bite his trolls, so he doesn't want that to happen.
Okay.
So he probably just wants it out the way. I either would have put it into where he's put it or into one of the heroes, which he's not going to be attacking.
Yeah.
So over the double turn, he's got the chance of.
That seems like a good play, putting it down there. He's killed 3 of them. There's definitely no hero down there, so that is a battle shock for them now.
So here comes the big charge, I assume. No, he must still be casting spells.
Yeah, because he hasn't done movement phase yet.
We've got a Hand of Gork, maybe, still from the Fungoid.
He's finally cast Hand of Gork, so it's a good turn for the Trogs in good hero phase for them. They've finally cast Scuttle Tide.
It's because the moon is shining on the whole field.
Does that adds +1 to the cast, does it?
So he's looking whether he can drop a unit behind. There's Ooh. So he's trying to pick up a unit of trolls and put them into range somewhere. Personally, I think he should be walking up into.
Yeah, I don't think he needs that. I think that those trolls need to go that way, and those trolls need to go into there. I think he measured from his Fungoid, who is here, and this unit is in range. So it looks like that's the unit he's going to teleport. But I don't know whether that. I don't know whether he wants to do that.
He's trying to find places to put them. I think the only place he can possibly these circles are 12 across. He could maybe get one in there if he's looking to take objectives, but I really think these guys need to walk over there and fight them.
Yeah.
And like you said, those need to walk up there and fight them.
And Trog needs to come down here and fight them.
Yeah. Trog himself needs to get involved instead of standing around polishing his thing. So the only thing he could do is maybe teleport the wizard himself into a little hole, maybe in there, just to make sure
he's teleporting Trog? Okay.
So Trog has flown across the board. So he does get a 9-inch charge with the reroll.
Is there any pluses to that now?
No. Okay. There won't be any pluses to that. That will just be.
He doesn't have any CP at the moment, unless that hasn't been. Oh, he must have scored one on this turn.
Yeah, the loon skin on the troll means that he will have got 2 CPs this turn as well.
Okay.
So
3 CP he's got at the moment. So he's got plenty to reroll charges then. But then that doesn't solve the issue of scoring this one this turn, does
it? Yeah, he's created a problem for himself there.
Yeah.
I really think Trog should have gone down there. He should have retreated into the circle.
Yep.
Or piled. He could pile
piled in round, maybe, yeah.
And so Trog should have aimed for this guy.
Yeah, and then if Trog kills him, clips the circle, then he can pile in.
He's made it too hard for himself. He should just be walking around.
Yeah, exactly.
If he's going to do any magic teleporting, maybe the Fungoid could have teleported. I don't know if the Fungoid has used his second spell. He could have possibly teleported somewhere and then cast another spell.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Yeah, I think he's got starry eyes because it's the first time he's cast Hand of Gork, so he's just teleported for the sake of it. Yeah.
And he didn't have to use it.
He didn't know. Okay. All right. While Trog finishes his movement, we're going to go to your man Owen.
Cheers, Benjamin. Yeah, there's some tired brains and tired bodies out there in the field, I think. As the day closes, draws to a close, should I say, and games come to their conclusion. I've got a few results for you. There's still some insanely tight games out there. Over my left shoulder here, Luke Morton and Mark Wildman are still, there's quite a few people around that table, and that still looks really tight. I think there's only a couple of points in it. Gabe Huddlestone playing off against Liam Jordan. I mean, I thought that Gabe had made a really good flanking move, and then I thought the punch back from Liam was really strong. But going over there, I think on the points, I think the wisdom on that table is that they still think Gabe's going to take that just because of the board control he asserted in the mid-game. Nikos against James Williams. Nikos has gone into turn 5, and Nikos is 11-8 up on the scenario, but he's not got many models left, so he needs to make some plays there and things to go his way. Nick Thompson against JP Stevens. JP's played very conservatively, and I suppose he had to because of the threat of the board edge strike from the Living City. But Nick still thinks that JP's got that one. He maybe only just come down to a point or two. The Kavalos Death Riders flanked and hit the Demigryph Knights on his own objective, but those Demigryphs have proven to be quite hard to shift, and I think he's actually winning that war of attrition there with the help of a couple of chariots, I believe. In the game between Parr and Chris Green, despite that cinematic moment earlier when the scrap launchers killed the Ghoul King on Terrorgeist, Chris, his Flayers really just wiped up. They're the ones that won the game for him. He had a Courtier on the board, which was bringing them back obviously on a 5-up. So, those Flayers with the movement, they were just able to pick apart the Ogres and get the win there. The super tight game on table 8 between Andy Hughes and Tony Moore has just come to an end. Tony getting that on a minor win by 120 kill points. I think Andy and Tony, they basically sort of gave up on one half of the board and had a massive grind fest in the middle, but sounds like a few plays, like a double charge on one unit of Hearthguard so that he tagged both sides and denied some pile-ins that negated some of the output from those Hearthguard. And Tony just eking out that minor win as they were drawn on victory points at the end. Something big on the table. I think I might need to go back to the stream in a minute. But wrapping up quickly, James Powell versus Joe Purcell. We think Joe's going to take that. And Paul Haley versus Stephen Follows with his shooting underguts. I think Steve's won out there against the Daughters. So big drama on the table. Me gabbing on has made you miss it, hopefully not too much. So I'm going to pass back now to Benjamin and Nathan in the booth, I believe. I think they're going to be ready for me in a second. So back to the boys to bring you all the action.
And we're back. Thanks, Owen.
So on table 2?
Table 3, table 3.
Yeah, table 2 we saw the Skaven, the hand's been shook as the Skaven wrapped it up. We saw the ambush being sprung by the Stormcast earlier, not really doing anything. Evocators dying to clan rats and bells and things. Storm Vermin rushing over.
Crack's Call taking out a Ballista in one turn. So the Skaven had a very convincing victory at the end there. On table 3, we've had some big charge rolls.
Yes. So lots of movement has happened. I'm not quite sure where some of it should have gone, but we've got a unit of 3 Fellwaters have charged into 3 Eels.
At the top there, they rolled a 10 on their charge and made a big charge in there.
Yes.
So then he's going to, if he can kill them off, he's going to score.
And then we've had Trog himself charge into the flank of some thralls in the
down
center.
here. He also rolled. Well, he rolled a 5 and then used a CP to re-roll it. Seb apparently called him ugly, and he didn't like that. And then he rolled a 10 and got into them.
Him as it should. And then 2 rock guts also joined in that party in the center.
Those 2 there, they rolled a 9. So 3 big charges. It does mean that he's only going to score 3 points this turn.
Fell Water's being activated first.
That's
so
these ones, is it, at the top?
Yeah.
On the top
So
right into the eels.
Does mean that the thralls will have a chance to swing out all the big trolls in front of them. That takes
That's 8
off
damage, that's 2 of them.
2 eels.
So leaves 1, but he's got that objective now regardless of what happens. Well, unless that eel kills 1 and then...
And the other one runs away, which could quite easily happen.
Could happen, yeah.
They're not the bravest.
He's still got the character
creatures
there, so he only needs to kill 1 anyway to go 2-2 there.
And then the thralls, are, like we said, are quite choppy. They can actually do a number on these 2 rock guts and Trog himself. Although it's not as important because it is not really fighting for an objective.
Yeah, so it was the right call, to go with the eels at the top, I think.
Whereas I think this fella, if he piles in around there, hammers those last 3 dudes, still doesn't mean he gets the objective because we've got this fella here.
Trog should have gone over there, shouldn't he?
Trog should have walked up here and got involved in this fight. If he wanted to teleport something, which he was desperate to do, then maybe that fungoid could have teleported onto the edge of the circle just to make sure that he claims that objective.
Yeah.
Or possibly down here. For the next turn, use some magic, make some stuff happen.
Absolutely, because these guys, they're only down to 5 now. The Scuttle Tide is still there.
Yeah, or even just put the fungoid into them, even if you killed a couple more.
Yeah.
And then Battle Shock.
Fungoid's quite tough to kill, isn't he, as well? Yeah, he's got a good enough to save.
So
Reavers wouldn't kill him if he's in combat with 1 Reaver there, and the rest of them are
charged
stuck behind
into a
Scuttle
corner
Tide.
there. And with a good Battle Shock roll, that unit could even disappear. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Top tips: charge Shaman in whenever you can.
So it's the thralls are fighting into the 2 trolls in the corner, in the centre there, or just off centre, where Trog has just gone in as well. They just need to tie them up. They just want, they don't want the Reavers to get loose there.
So not killing a rock cut.
Okay,
so
that's good.
I would say that the
thralls
are going to disappear now.
Yep.
Hopefully under a mist. I don't know if Trog's used his command ability, +1 to wound or something like that on the big Trog. Nice little bubble. Yeah, so he's going to make sure that those trolls are dead.
All trolls is that as well?
Yeah, there's a bubble around him.
Oh, nice.
Of 18 inches, so yeah.
Okay, so he's... That's the thralls.
So the rock guts are then totally whiffing their attacks.
Oh, that was the rock guts. To wound roll is 2 1s and 2 2s. So those big -2 rend 3 damage attacks all failed to wound.
+1 to wound, weren't they? He should have used the +1 to wound from the Trog boss. Never mind.
Oh, he's shaking his head, poor Trog. So now it's...
Yes. Huh? But we still got Trog himself to swing in that fight.
Okay. So we're going with the Reavers in the bottom left into the Thralls, in the bottom left.
3 Thralls left.
So they could kill this last Troll here. Interesting. Okay, so...
He's got 5 up after damage save as well, so he's fine. He's still alive, taking a wound.
Okay, nice.
And back into... This might be Trog himself swinging.
Or it could be the Trolls in the top corner here as well into the Eels.
No, that would be... Oh, so Trog totally missed.
Oh, it was Trog who failed with all 4 of his wounds. Right. So it's the Rock Guts now. So it was the Trog who attacked first, rolled 2 2s and 2 1s to wound, and then the Foul Waters, the Rot Guts have attacked and also rolled 2s and 1s to wound. So he's failed to kill all of those thralls. He only needed 3 of those attacks to go through to kill 9 of them.
So he's rolled 7 dice and not one of them have been above a 2.
Yeah.
To wound.
Wow.
So that's terrible.
Hurts. Yeah, he's. No, it is quite significant. I mean, they're not on objectives, so it doesn't matter for that.
Yeah.
But
it just means he can't move off of there.
It means that if he could kill them in the turn and then won the priority, then these two can just they can go
dominate
down there.
the board.
Yeah.
But now they're stuck. That did not go according to plan.
No. The best laid plans of mice and trucks.
Does he even pile in with this rocket, or is he standing there? No, he's just going to stand there. He's not bothered about the gold, obviously. Does that roll? Can he wound? Yes, he can. Takes those 3 falls off.
Okay.
But again, should have used that pile in just to try and get as close as he can to this hero. Make sure he gets in there and smashes him up.
It does open up now.
We've got some
on a
battle
double
shockers now.
Oh yeah.
No, they're going straight for priority. Not worried about battle shocker.
Okay, they drew on priority, which means Idoneth wins it again. So we're just waiting to see who takes the turn, I guess.
Matt, can you just ask if the battle shock that was rolled for the units that were attacked by the Scuttle Tide, was there a battle shock rolled on that? Oh, okay.
Right, so he's rolling the battle shock now. He's going to re-roll it with his banner. He's obviously failed. He's rolled a 1. He's good. They're all right. So they're good down in the bottom there. But so its endless spells are going to be moving now. Trog has moved himself in front of that eighth void pendulum there. Yeah.
But if he doesn't move it, it just carries on.
I suppose he could just move it a millimeter, couldn't he? Yeah, and hopefully be outside an inch.
Hitting himself. Yeah. So it does mean that these Geminids are then free to attack that rocket.
Yeah, or the Scuttle Tide can move away from the thralls,
which is what he's going to do. So then the Geminids can go in there.
Yeah. Yeah, or maybe even you just send the Geminids off down here, so it's not going to come back in the next turn. It does.
Yeah,
I think potentially. Oh, unless he just runs away from that combat now and just retakes unless the thralls just run up here and retake that.
Yeah.
It would be silly to leave them in combat.
Yeah, but retreat them onto there.
Yeah, but I potentially would have given that turn to Trogs if I was Seb. Because they're all tied up, you lose those thralls, but it also means that these 2 units are not scoring again for another turn.
True. Yeah, because even if they retreat off, there's not enough of them to do anything. You've still got this character, or whatever that is there.
Pendulum has done 3 wounds to the eel, so it's moved close enough to touch the eel, but not the Trogs.
Yeah.
And the Geminids have, as you've said, gone towards the hero there in the bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah. Again, not inconsequential, really.
Yes. Yeah, because they can't kill it. So it's interesting.
So we've got a web spinner shaman still. I think he's somewhere on that piece of terrain there.
2 fungoids in the top left as well. There's 2 fungoids. Interesting. There's 2 fungoids still left over here. So he should have just teleported one of the other fungoids over here. The one with Hand of Gork. If he was down here somewhere, then he could have Hand of Gorked any of those 3 out down to here then, and scored that objective in that turn. Let's have a look. So what is set? Seb is on 10. This turn he keeps this, so he scores 1 there. He keeps that, so that's 2. And I think he can retake that now to score 3-4 and go to 14. And then in Trog's turn,
he scores 1.
Yeah, he could probably get that.
2,
3, 4, 5.
4, 5. I don't think he can get this one down.
I think it's a real long bomb for Trog, but I don't think it's over.
It's not impossible. No.
Yeah.
No,
I don't think it's over. No, I think that it's a long bomb, Hail Mary, but Trog could do it. Okay. Okay.
So looking at the table, he's measuring to make sure the shipwreck, whether it can do its mortal wounds, and it does do a mortal wound to the Trog. And then we're running out of time in this game, actually. 10 minutes left.
Yeah, it's gone the distance again.
Is he going to move up to the Scuttle Tide?
Because he takes wounds if he moves near it, doesn't he?
He's not. Is he? Who knows what's going to happen? And then that guy.
Matt, can you ask what that character is in the bottom left, just outside of the objective? Is there an Idoneth hero or something? Down in the bottom corner. Tidecaster.
Tidecaster takes a wound from the Scuttle Tide, or a couple of wounds from the Scuttle Tide. But I think Trog is actually running out of time in this.
Yeah, he's only got 10 minutes, and yeah, I mean
so they're going to have this turn. If they had an extra turn, I do think that Trog was probably in the driving seat, because there's still 2 turns left. But
Trog's still got 2 turns.
I think
but
they're running out of time too.
Yeah,
and it's probably going to end at the end of this turn. In which case, I see Seb taking the
Seb.
game,
Yeah, I mean
really.
Seb's going to be like 14-8 in this turn, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and in which case I struggled. So they're going to have to call at the end of this turn because they've run out of time. And in which case I can't see any way that
he can't win because all he needs to do is retreat out onto there and score the 2 points there. He goes to 14, and then Trog would have to score all 3 of those, plus that one would get 7, would be 13. So no, he can't. He can't win. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we've just done the maths. Seb would go to 14 now, and Trog can only score.
He retreats. He's not retreating.
It does depend if he retreats
he's
onto
not
that.
Retreated out.
Oh, he's not. He's staying in combat. Okay. Okay. We were just about to come back to us, but Seb has not retreated out here to score those 2 points. So he's only going to score 1, 2, and go to 12. But then it still means Trog needs to score all 3 of those in his last turn, which can he do? Can he even do? If he needs to kill these Reavers this turn.
If they die in this combat phase,
he's still got that. Oh no, because he was.
Yeah, he gets that. So he scores 3.
6. No, because he doesn't own that, so he would score.
He would score. He would get that one. Hopefully, that guy could take him out.
Yeah.
So you get 1, 2, 3. Keep that one 4, and then.
5, 6, so it would be 12 all. Yeah. So it would be a minor win.
To whoever, I don't know who.
I don't know who, yeah. Who's.
It's probably
Trog,
yeah. Especially if
he kills those
expensive ass Trog alive.
Yeah, oh yeah, because he's loads of points, isn't he? Yeah. Okay.
This game is crazy.
Yeah.
They're trying their hardest to.
Okay.
So. It relies on Trog going crazy into them, and
he needs to kill them. He needs to clear himself.
I don't know
out.
if he crushed any of them the last turn. He should have auto crushed one. So
he needs to be free to come down here
and not get distracted by that, but go for them.
Yeah.
This guy could have retreated up there as well, even. And made it 3 all. And at least then, if the eel had killed one of those, then they'd be in.
This is another reason why, if he would have teleported
that fungoid,
fungoid somewhere over to there to be in range of Hand of Gork,
fighting down here, then the game would be over in the favour of Trog.
Yeah,
it's sort of not really in the way that we think it's going. So these are the fell waters into that last eel, so I think you see that eel go now. He's only got one.
He's only got one wound left, hasn't he? Yeah, as well. Yeah, because of the pendulum.
Yeah. So eel gone.
Yeah. Okay. So that
Trog.
is it. Trog now. We're waiting for Trog to see if he can finish off these Reavers.
That would be. I think they're retroactively rolling that Thrall that would have attacked Trog.
Yeah.
Trog. And that all gone fine.
He doesn't degrade though his profile, does it?
No.
Okay.
So does he crush one?
Academic.
He should crush one, and then he hits with all of them. Wounds with
two of them. Goes straight through as well, doesn't it? And kills 6.
2d6, go on. And takes off
all of them.
Oh! Go on, Trog. Go on, Trog.
Trog.
You beauty. So
wow.
now,
So he's still this. He could do it.
Fuck knows what's going to happen now.
Has he seen it though? Because it's a tense game.
So
and it's in the dying moment. So can he see the path to victory? Yeah. Wow.
Or even if he wants to teleport something, teleport a couple of shamans onto there
and
just do some spells instead.
Wow.
Well, you can only teleport one shaman, but still.
Yeah, you can teleport one. Can he teleport one shaman to heal? How many wounds does that Soul Scryer have left, Matt? How many wounds does the Soul Scryer have left? Oh, how many wounds does that Soul Scryer have left? Yeah. 4 left.
So my play would be the web spinner over here dispels that.
Yeah.
Then you teleport one of these fungoids here, and you drop the pendulum into them.
Yeah.
And that, if whatever that doesn't kill, then you've got to hope that old doodah runs over there.
But do you not?
You could probably
you can maybe pendulum that guy to kill him, so he's just got a shorter path.
Shorter line.
Because he's gonna have to go around a little bit. What's the movement of a Trog? 6.
6, yeah. So it does look like he's left with a long charge. He's going to have loads of command points.
Yeah, he's got loads of command points, definitely. Where's the moon now? Is that there?
Yeah, so and then, even if he dispels Geminids, no, I think you take the pendulum with you.
Take the pendulum off, yeah.
Into there.
Oh, I love these kind of turns. It's so interesting to be on this,
the
to be able to see it.
Yeah.
To see it here.
So this is where you try and eke out every little.
Yeah, squeeze out every little drop of efficiency. Yeah. That's great.
Because if you can drop. Who's this? Was that the fungoid? He's done
That's the fungoid. Yeah, it is. Hand of Gork the fungoid down there.
But he's not taking the pendulum.
He hasn't taken the pendulum. He's got no other.
But that's great.
We're being told off for not being impartial. Okay.
Right, but that does mean.
So the fungoid. What can he do there?
So he's going to charge him.
He's just going to be a body, I guess.
Yeah, he's going to have to try and charge him in with those 4 attacks. He's got 4 attacks. His little squig has got 2 attacks, and then his sickle is either 2 or 3 attacks.
One thing I want, I suppose he wants the big charge, so he's going to go that way. Yeah. But if he gets the smaller charge, is his base size big enough to clip that?
Yeah.
It probably would be, wouldn't it? Yeah, because you only have to land within half an inch, so he could definitely clip there. Has the fungoid got any shooting?
No. It's only got 4 or 5 attacks, and they are like 4s and 4s. Right.
It depends whether they call it now, because if they've decided to call it at the end of 4, but if this goes to round 5, it's definitely Trogs.
So, right, big charges. Going to re-roll that with a command point. He's rolled an 8.
Doesn't look big enough to get into the. Oh no, is it? Oh no, it looks like a 9.
That looks like he's in.
Oh, he's in.
Trog is in. Fungoid. 4. Reroll it with a command point. He's got loads of command points.
How can you see that?
So, there we go. Oh, no, straight into combat.
It just needs Trog to just do do the business.
Yeah. So, 2.
Is that 2 wounds?
2
2d6
wounds straight through. 2d6.
5. He did not!
Double
6 to save on the Reavers.
And
Does that? Are they 4-up save?
And did he crush any with his fist?
Are they a 4-up? Oh, they're in cover.
Oh,
are they?
it's covered in this turn.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Deepkin
Sorry, we're getting all of our
yeah,
information cross-wired here
and
now.
Did he
it's
crush any
cover
with
in this turn because
hand?
it's an Idoneth. It's the Idoneth turn where they get cover, so they're 4-up saves. So it's -2 rend. He's got 2 saves, and he rolls 2 6s.
Yeah. 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 Did he crush any of them? No.
Oh no!
Did he wank any off? Crush any?
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
No. Oh, okay. That's mental. There we go. That's great.
2 6s to save.
That gets in your head. That was a big charge. He smashed, but the special save that Idoneth get.
Yeah, it bounced off the Aether Sea.
Yeah.
His big club.
The mist protected them.
It's not enough. Oh, he's lost 2. Oh.
There we go.
That's it.
And Idoneth take it. That was great.
Okay, so that's it. We've seen the handshake. It was close, but not to be.
Yeah, so
What an exciting end.
End of day 1 was pretty exciting. We've seen some entertaining games. Maybe not some of the most competitive on some of the tables.
No. I think that was a choice there, wasn't it? We wanted to put some fun games on here before we go into all the big try-hard Tier 1 players fighting it out for the top spot tomorrow. We wanted to put some fun games here, and it's exactly what we've got. That game was intense. Really excellent ending. We seen Ben take victory from the Fyreslayers with his KO, which was unexpected.
Yes.
And another really interesting list to see on screen, to see how it works and all of the tricks and shenanigans of the KO.
Yeah,
it's been excellent.
Yeah, it's been a good day, actually.
Good day of gaming,
So, yeah.
At Sheffield, the home of tSports.
Yeah, tSports for the weekend.
tSports Network, home of tSports.
Okay, so thank you very much, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Yeah, great. Tune in tomorrow at 9. Thanks, guys.